This is the Neumann and this is the Sennheiser. This is the Neumann and this is the Sennheiser. This is the Neumann and this is the Sennheiser. This is the Neumann today. A lot of people call Neumann microphones. They're usually people that haven't quite yet acquired a Neumann microphone. But they've read about it. They've read the reputation and they say, oh, those Neumanns are the best. So if you are thinking about starting a microphone company, might I suggest you call your microphone brand Neumann, like Alfred E. Neumann or Neumann from Seinfeld, and your microphones will sell like crazy because of all the people that don't know how to pronounce Neumann. This is a Sennheiser. This is a Neumann. This is the Sennheiser today. I took the liberty of having matched cables. We're using Mogami. Are we using Mogami? This is the MixPre by Sound Devices. This one's analog out. So yeah, I can record straight to my camera with it. The reason I'm doing this little microphone shootout, and this is the Sennheiser. We're still on the luscious Sennheiser. This is the camera lens here, but there's the monitor. I'm filming this. I'm on both sides of the camera right now. You know, when I bought a bunch of microphones and gear, I'm going to try to look at the camera lens. When I bought a bunch of audio gear back in the day, everybody said the same thing. Just go rent the microphones, figure out what you like. And I really couldn't afford to spend $50 to $100 here and there renting microphones and preamps. I just want to be able to give the viewer an indication of what these microphones sound like. So we're on the Sennheiser right now. So, you know, sometimes you watch YouTube clips and they just talk so fast when they're doing the microphone shootouts. Like, I'm just going to spend some time here on this Sennheiser. You see, you like this? You remember when you were in elementary school and you had to protect your books by making the little brown paper bag book cover? That's what I did. I did this for my book. It's a soft-covered book, so I put a piece of cardboard in it now. It's hardcover. So I have the hardcore edition of, not hardcore, hardcover. Boy, I tell you, everything's backwards. I don't know. I mean, you're not in it for the book. And again, we're going through the Sennheiser 416 microphone without any windscreen, through the Mogami cable, into the Sound Devices MixPre, into a Canon 5D Mark II. What? You want me to read this through the Neumann? Well, okay. There we go. What do you think? A little bit more Barry White sexy, huh? Yeah. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's all turn in our books to page 83. If you have the 48 Laws of Power with you, you can read silently as I read out loud. Transgression of the law. It's raining outside. It's been raining for days, so if you hear, rain, that's if you hear some extra noise. I turned off the fridge. I really hope I remember to turn it on. I have forgotten to turn fridges back on numerous times. Neumannous times. All right, here we go. I'll have to hold it up like this because of the lighting. I did the lighting too. Kind of half-assed, 2-point lighting. Boy, this will not be used as an actor's reel. Sorry, it's late at night. It's like 2 in the morning. I took a long nap today. It's been rainy for like 3 days. I'm dyslexic. I have all sorts of excuses. Where was I? Oh, I was talking on the Neumann microphone. Let us kill him and then worship him as our patron saint. And so they did. The end. Well, that's the end of the Neumann for this story. Let's see if the Sennheiser can make such a drab story a little bit brighter and airier and more. What's that word? Yes, that word. So the word for the, sibilance. I'll probably have lots of comments where people are telling me the words that I'm forgetting. See, and I can't really watch the levels. I pre-did the levels, I don't think I'm going to be peaking, but if you hear some distortion, it could be the camera being driven. The trick with the sound devices mix pre, it's really hot going into that 5D. I mean, before I bought one of these little pads, you got to buy one, and I knew I should have bought like three and kept one in the camera case and in the audio case and in the monitor case, because you just can't lose this thing. And it was like $15, but then with shipping, it's like another 10. So dough. I forget the name brand of it. It looks homemade. It seems pretty high quality, higher quality than the ones the first time I searched for them. I found them for like $3, $4, $7. The the major brands that put out the Econo line stuff, and then I went back and tried to find those things searching, and I searched for hours, and then I found this one, and I said, I'm just bitter agony of defeat, and I just bought this one. But I think it was a sign from angels, because I think the other ones would have been crap. But yeah, it's like it might be a 20 dB pad. So what I used to do is crank the volume all the way down on the 5D and just go up one notch. What's dangerous about that, if you're like shooting a concert that's really loud and you're not even using a microphone, that works out pretty well too. I think I need to turn my mic down just a little bit. There we go. But one time I was shooting a concert with 3 cameras, and I said to one of the camera guys, turn it all the way down and then up one. I should have checked his work, or I should have repeated myself, or I should have said it louder, because he turned it all the way down and didn't turn it up one. He kind of spaced out on that part. That was a very important part. So I had to line up his footage without sound for a concert. It was a pain. So now we're talking through the Sennheiser. The microphones are right here. I don't know, they're about, well, the Sennheiser fell a little bit. It's a little bit closer than the Neumann. Maybe that's why I had to turn it down a little bit. I don't want to touch it. Anyway, the Neumann is a little bit fatter of a microphone, which the shock absorbers I'm using belong to my AKG 414 TL2 gold reference large diaphragm microphones. And it doesn't really hold the Sennheiser very well. It's snug with the Neumann, but the Sennheiser is pretty slim. I think Sennheiser does that on purpose. I think they try to make it so when you describe the microphone, you use a lot of S's, because it really captures the sound. The slim Sennheiser sounds sexy. Had changed so drastically. Could not understand how his fate had changed so drastically. It's those little words like how that really change the definition of a sentence. He was beheaded. I'm glad we read that last part with a happy, smiley, shiny, bright, cheery Sennheiser microphone. So I think I've given you a very good indication between the Sennheiser and the Neumann. The Sennheiser, see, the Sennheiser, I can almost hear a little more reverb of the room. Are you noticing that? Maybe you should put on some headphones. Or what, are you listening to this through like laptop speakers? Is that what you're doing? I go through all this trouble and you're just going to play it through a pair of crappy laptop speakers? Is that how you roll? Is that, oh, is that what you, when the new Die Hard movies come out, is that how you watch them? You watch them on your laptop? Oh, I see. Oh, well, then never mind then, because that's what you're used to. Yeah. Oh, no, don't worry about running through some like 5-to-1 surround sound. It's just my little crappy YouTube video. That's fine. It's just a mono Sennheiser right now. That's fine. Now we're doing mono Neumann. I hear less of the room. Do I hear less of the room? There's a roll-off pad on the Neumann. This is the Sennheiser. This is the Neumann. But I turned the roll-off pad off. I turned the roll-off pad to the off position. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, get to the point, dude. What's the point? The point is for you to listen to these microphones. So unless you're shopping for Neumann and Sennheiser microphones, this video is probably not going to do you much good. So we've got the Rode NTG 1. And that's what I'm listening to now. It takes a lot more power from the Sound Devices MixPre. Looks like my batteries are going to die soon. That could make a difference in sound. Oh, and I have to apologize. I'm really sorry. I'm going to look into the lens and say this. I had the heater on in the house. I know. It's cold and rainy outside. So that added some noise. Here, let's listen. Here's the Sennheiser. Here is the Sennheiser without the heater on. Yeah, there's a big difference. Yeah. It's pretty quiet. I got it cranked up really loud. Here's it cranked up all the way. That's like one notch from full. Did you hear that truck outside? I live out in the country. There's not many vehicles that go by, and this picked it up. I'm going all the way. All the way, baby. Can you hear my heartbeat? The volume is all the way up. Now let's try the Rode. That's the Rode all the way up. I'm not as loud, but the hiss is even louder. This is the NTG1. It's not a very expensive mic. Got some new batteries in my Sound Devices. I don't know if I can tell a difference between the weak batteries. These are the used batteries, the spent batteries. I used to flush these things down the toilet. Apparently, that's not the way to dispose of batteries properly. I always heard not to throw them into the trash, so I thought, because trash can catch on fire, so if I threw it in the toilet, then they're not going to catch on water. I did that for many years, and I go through a lot of batteries. Anyway, guess I'll throw them in the compost pile. Sennheiser. Oh, God. Oh, I missed you. Man, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm not a good reader. I mean, if it's worth reading, they make a movie out of it. They won battle after battle for their employers only to find themselves banished, imprisoned, or executed. I heard a story of an architect that built a castle for his king, and his king was so impressed that he had the architect murdered. He didn't want the architect to ever build a better castle. And that was the only way he could really be guaranteed. So, you're the architect. You're like going the extra mile thinking like, oh, wow, I can finally move out to the country and build my little cottage and have my little wife and my little kids, and I can just live happily ever after because I've just slaved over this kingdom for the past 14 years. I worked my fingers to the bone, and now it's paycheck time. Off with your head. America's kind of going through something similar. Yeah. We don't really learn from history because we don't read the good books. We wait for the movies to come out, and they don't make movies about the good books. So basically, when you're working a job, you need your employer to be dependent on you. Dependent, yeah. Yeah, dependent. That's what it's called. That we already went through the law number 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Yeah, don't empower them. No, that's stupid. That's stupid. Like, I should be like, oh, you want my sound? You hire me. $50 an hour. Not me making videos so you can go out and spend $1,500 and compete with me. That's stupid. I probably should just delete this video. I'm just kidding. I don't want to do sound. I want to write. Oh, let's go back to the Sennheiser. That's kind of, it's so powerful. It's like a little Ford Mustang 5.0. Such is the fate, to a lesser degree, one hopes, of those who do not make others dependent on them. Sooner or later, someone comes along who can do the job as well as they can. Someone younger, fresher, less expensive, less threatening. I could use that on my actor's reel because I did a really good job. Be the only one who can do what you do. Symbols. It's probably really annoying that I'm just like looking, you're probably like watching this video going, is there something wrong with my hair? I'm looking at the monitor. It makes me feel good to look at myself. This is the mystery mic. Oh, yes. You'll never guess. You'll never guess. Neumann. Oh, wait a minute. Some of you geeks out there catching on. That's not a shotgun mic. Okay, it's a hypercardioid. But do you know what brand? This is a Neumann, and this is a Neumann. This is a Neumann KMR 85i. This is a Neumann KM 185. Yeah. So basically, we're back on the Neumann shotgun. I've never had luck making this Neumann shotgun sound good on a musical instrument. Now it sounds good if I'm like, like shooting documentary running gun style and people are playing. It sounds great. But really, I tend to put the Neumann KM, this is what we're on now, the KM 185. You couldn't even hear that switch. That's how good I am as an audio mixer. When I run and gun, I tend to use the Neumann hypercardioid. So it's not as tight as the shotgun. It's not as wide as cardioid. It's somewhere in the middle. And that's what I'm talking through now. It's a great instrument mic. It makes guitars sound really good. The Neumann shotgun, it's like, oh, it's a Neumann. Let's put it in now. It sounds awful. A friend of mine used to use a shotgun mic on his bass drum. I have not had any. I mean, it sounds like it would be great. It sounds great when I'm singing. This is the Neumann and let me show you. This is the Sennheiser MKH. I think I had those initials wrong. 416. Okay, cool. Looked like it said 14. MKH 416. I can't, if I put it closer, then it'll just go out of focus. See? Here you go. Wait, so you can see right there. Proof is in the pudding. So that's the Sennheiser. Here's over here. Here's the Rode. I'm holding Rode and a Sennheiser and talking through a couple of Neumanns. Yeah, I have to crank that shotgun up a little bit louder, and it's noisy. I can hear the noise. Sounds like the ocean in my right ear. What does it sound like on your little Mac laptop speakers, your little PowerBook? Let's see who wins. Sennheiser. So yes, this is the NTG 1, made in Australia. Made down under, mate.